How's it going, people? We're talking Western Conference. 1 minute for each team. We start at 30 seconds. So, in the meantime, you can say if I missed a team. I don't think I did, but And you can comment what other videos you'd like to see from this channel. 30 seconds starts. It kind of gets chaotic, so 30 seconds starts now. We're talking Thunder first. Annoyingly talented is the two best words to describe the OKC Thunder. They're annoying because they try to be the villains, or at least SGA does. And they're not well, I guess they are the villains because they are, really good. But I think they're kind of a little bit annoying in that way. But I mean, they're not that annoying. It gets inflamed. Inflamed? Is that the right word? It gets talked about more online because they are a little bit annoying, and SGA acts like he's some sort of, philosopher or something, and he's not. But they're rough. They play hard-nosed defense, and they should get foul calls more. That's probably why. But I mean, I like this Thunder team. They were fun. Now they're kind of villainized, but we're moving on to the Nuggets. Jokic parallels Giannis, like Giannis is a superstar on a lackluster team. Jokic is also a superstar on a lackluster team, but his team's better, His team at least has an All-NBA point guard and some talented role players. They just were not that healthy this year. They were still top 3 in the West, which gotta respect, but they lost to the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are a good team, don't get me wrong, but they should have won that series. Let's be 100% honest. Aaron Gordon was out, which is a pretty big loss. He was out most of the series, and Jokic was still kind of lackluster because he was recovering, I felt like. But it happened, so big off season, Spurs next. Spurs are a good team, really good team. I think they have a chance to win the championship, Wembanyama and OKC, they're playing tonight, Game 5, They're tied at 2-2. Spurs have been really good. They've responded every time OKC's given them a hard game. I like the way the Spurs play. They play like they're Wembanyama's team, and they are. They're built for him, really. They've been accustomed to playing with him, and he's a special talent. So I think they play parallel to the Thunder. They play hard defense. Thunder play hard defense, and Wemby's a great player, man. They're a fun team to watch. Moving on to the Lakers. Lakers have a big offseason, I think. They have the superstar. You got the superstar, now you got to build a team around him. And I think they can build a team around him. You got LeBron, who, that's an entirely different video that I'm going to make. I think there's a lot to be done. You need a center bad. Aiden's solid, but he isn't some sort of superstar, And Austin Reeves, hopefully he returns. I think he was really good. And they all in the media, they were talking about, he's, Mr. Laker, They're trying to make him into this superstar parallel, or to put alongside Doncic, and hopefully Doncic is healthy next year, and they can be a really good team, competitive team. Moving on to the Rockets, the KD situation. Whew, I mean, this one's pretty explosive for a conversation. Just with KD's entire season has been, with him online and stuff. And the Rockets, they went from this, they did the same thing that the Kings did, where they went from this fun team to they kind of got figured out. And they also tried to go competitive by getting Kevin Durant. And now it's like, oh, you go from this young, fun team to actually like, oh, you have to compete now at a high level. And it's hard to do that in the modern NBA. And it's extremely hard to do that under this much pressure. And with health issues, they did have a little bit of health issues. Not that bad, though. But still, they just kind of fell apart. And they needed a point guard bad, and they didn't have one. Amin Thompson needs to develop a shot, or they're going to find out a way to play with him without a shot, Timberwolves, that's who we are talking about now. Edwards, Anthony, and everything on social media has been how they are trying to compete for more. They've looked into options for trading for Kyrie, which I think is really compelling if you're a Timberwolves fan. And I'd be excited to see that because I think Kyrie and Anthony Edwards on the same team, that sounds like a really, really fun team to watch. I'd love, personally, to see that and for them just to build. I mean, Julius Randle, you kind of experimented with him, did it for 2 years, didn't pan out. Now you move on. You still got Jaden McDaniels, who's been a great player for you and will still be a great player for you. Rudy Gobert's a question mark too. Blazers, they don't really have too much drama besides the coaching and that whole fiasco in the beginning of the season. But besides that, they've just been good. Danny Advia is a really good player, and he kind of impressed me. I didn't think he was gonna jump up to this after the Wizards traded him, but he has. He's really developed almost a star. I'd say he was an all-star. So but he's really good, and his team's really good. They were 6 or 7 in the West, and just no, they weren't 7. What am I talking? No, they were in the play-in. Yeah, I remember that playing game. Danny Avdia had like 41. Just keep drafting well. They have to get a new coach, right? So that will be interesting to see. Suns, I love what the Suns have been doing. They went from too much money, Bradley Beal contract, Kevin Durant. They went from way too much money to now they're like, oh, we're gonna be a Jordan Ott. He's really good coach, and he's turned them into effort, which I think is uncommon in the NBA, really. And it worked out for them. They made the plan. And I think that if they keep adding on, keep building, then they'll get back into competitive C. Competitive C? That's not even a word. I'm rambling at this point. But these are the first videos, so apologize for that. But Suns are good. Devin Booker, I know there's a bunch about him moving on, but I don't think he will. He won't move on. He's a Sun for life. Clippers are in a good situation. You get a pretty high pick, right? So we'll have to see what they do with that. They got a lot of alleys to go through. Kawhi's going to be. I think they could trade Kawhi. I like the Kawhi to Detroit trade. That's a really fun trade. But I do think it's a win-win scenario if they do keep Kawhi or trade him. You get a good player anyway, and he's proved to you that he's not going down too much. All NBA Kawhi. Plus, they do have Darius Garland and Benedict Mathurin, so they have young guys who can be fun, and they're gonna have money eventually. In one of these off seasons. So I think you have a lot to go down there. Moving on to the Warriors, I have a lot to talk about the Warriors. Aging. They are aging, and I think the dynasty's over, unfortunately. And we were this entire time we've been oh please, Kobe, Curry, the connection, they're going out the same way, and they are going out the same way. Because Kerr resigned, and Draymond staying, and everyone's going to stay, and they're probably going to keep being a bad team, which sucks. But, Curry had a great career. He's the best point guard ever, in my opinion. But it sucks to see him go out like this, man. It's like, you wish he can be competitive, but you also, you don't want him to get traded, It'd be weird to see Curry outside of a Warriors outfit, jersey. Moving on to the Pelicans. Pelicans are an interesting team because I feel like they were just plagued with injuries beginning of the season. I mean, DeJounte, Zion was semi-healthy this year. He was pretty healthy. He played like 50-something games, right? 60-something games. So he was really healthy this year, so I can't blame it on him. Trey Murphy was injured. A lot of this team was injured, man. Jordan Poole was not even a player on this team, really. It didn't feel like. And they just hired new coach Jamal Mosley, who, I didn't like the hiring at first, but it's grown on to me. It's grown on to me. That sounds dramatic. I really don't hate the hiring. I think it's good for them. I think Jamal Mosley can get them into relevancy again. And it does suck they don't have their own pick, but you can live with that, I think, because they can still be competitive. I feel like with DeJounte and their entire crew over there, Mavs up next. Mavs are good. Mavs have talent. They have a lot of talent on their roster, and I thought they were going to be competitive this year, but they were not. Spoiler alert. Cooper Flagg's really, really talented rookie of the year. I could easily see him being an all-star next year, all-NBA next year. It's going to be fun seeing him develop into a superstar. I think he's already at star level. He's going to go for a superstar next year, and they got a solid pick in this draft. I think they have top 5 pick, right? Or no, they have I can't remember what pick they have, but it's a decent pick in the top 10, So they're going to have another guy to develop alongside Flagg, and I think if they either trade or keep Kyrie, they're going to be good next year, or at least a play-in team next year, because the West is uber competitive. I went way over a minute on that one. Grizzlies, I don't have much to say about the Grizzlies. I trust their development process, and they always find these diamond-in-the-rough guys, so I think they're going to keep doing that. Plus, they have a top 3 pick. They have the 3rd pick, right? So that is going to be a lot of fun, seeing do they have the top 3 pick? I need to fact check some of this stuff before I yap about it, but I don't have that much to say about the Grizzlies. I think they're solid. They'll be competitive in 4 to 5 years, and they've kind of went through the entire process of fun young team, competitive rebuild, which sucks, but has to be done sometimes. Moving on to the Kings. We only got 2 left, Kings and Jazz. Kings are cursed. They're cursed. Their owner should sell, get rid of the team. No, I'm joking. I don't think they're that bad off, but they did the entire thing as the Grizzlies. Young, fun team, competitive, rebuild. And I think they have talent on the roster, but they were injured a lot this year, and they're pretty old, A lot of the team's old. So hopefully they can rebuild, revitalize the team, hopefully, somehow, some way. I feel like they're kind of in a hole, and it's going to take 7 years to get out of, which sucks for the entire Sacramento fan base, but has to happen, sometimes it has to happen. Jazz, last team we're talking about, the Utah Jazz. I think they can be good, really good next year. They're going to have a really, really good player, a really good rookie coming in, because they got a high pick. the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade, like, shocked me, man. Like, I was not expecting that. That was out of left field. And Keontae George, he has turned into a really, really good player. Like, almost all-star level. I'd say all-star level. And I think in 2 to 3 years, this will be a top 5 team in the West. Excited to see them. Because I do think they're going to be really good. Please tell me how I can update these videos a bit. I feel like I'm just rambling, which I like to do. But want to improve and, be free to criticize in the comments. I could care less, but I mean, I'm going to listen, so. See ya. I'm gonna try to make another vid. Bye.